Hello. Let's get back into it. This is going to be kind of a shorter one because I'm really tired. And I got work tomorrow. I don't say a word on the way back to the cabin. How can I? How do you vocalize the knowledge that your core understanding of the world just turned out to be wrong? Okay, I'm gonna have to turn this down slightly because it's like pretty loud. It feels like the ground beneath my feet dropped out from under me. My steps are unsteady, and I feel nausea come up like waves. My head pounds hard. I've always prided myself on my healthy skepticism, but I can't deny what's right in front of me. My thoughts scramble to find some way to explain it, some way that I can piece it together in a way I can understand. But it's hopeless. Tara is still struck mute. I'd expect her to be bouncing off the walls, to be unable to calm down. After all, this is what she's been after for years. Ever since we started the show, ever since she first had the idea for the show. Now that we've finally actually found something, neither of us know how to react. She keeps playing the short clip she recorded over and over again, watching it until the battery runs dry. A lot of it is unusable due to the snow and her shaky hands. But there are still a few seconds of clear, uninterrupted footage. Her ratings are going to go off the charts. We're going to have to prepare for endless barrages of questions and accusations of doctoring the footage. This will mean interviews, national news, maybe even a book deal. Nothing will ever be the same again. But all we can manage is silence. Morgan's the only one who seems somewhat calm, though even she's a bit shaken. She's the one who coaxes us to leave the church and start heading back to town. It's the obvious thing to do, yet somehow the suggestion sounds like a crazy idea that I would have never come up with myself. All of my thoughts are mush. If it weren't for Morgan, I'm sure Tara and I would both end up wandering the woods in total shock. I can barely manage a slow stumble as I follow from way behind. Thick, fresh snow impedes the path. The blizzard subsided, but the harsh winds bite at my exposed skin. It all feels like too much.
Maddie, are you okay?
It takes me a few seconds to even register her voice, and a few more to realize she's looking back at me with genuine concern.
Yeah, I'm fine.
My brain screams to ask for help, and my body feels moments away from collapsing. But what kind of help could she give me? I can only focus on reaching our destination. Morgan looks like she wants to respond, but instead resumes her trek forward, this time moving at a somewhat slower pace. After a while, the faintest light in the distance comes into view. The cabin. Our light, our refuge in the darkness. Tara's pace quickens to a near sprint, like she had been waiting for this moment. She rushes and crosses the distance, disappearing inside. Morgan walks alongside me. She opens the door, following inside behind me. I feel a sudden pang of guilt over how much I've disregarded her before now. Especially since she was actually right. As soon as I reach the couch, my legs give out under me, and I fall onto it like a ton of bricks. It isn't until I hit the cushions that I realize I nearly crushed Tara, who was already collapsed next to me.
Sorry.
She doesn't say anything. She might not have noticed. I thought that getting back to the cabin and safety would renew her enthusiasm. She should be running circles around me, screaming, "I told you so." Everything about her whole existence has just been validated. But she's just looking down at the ground without saying a word. Her bangs obscure her eyes, making her face unreadable. Her chest rises and falls in an odd rhythm. Then I realize that, just like me, she's still trembling. The monster's silhouette flashes through my head again. Huge, terrifying, red light shining down to the very center of my being.
Here, this will help.
She sets 2 glasses of water down on the table in front of us. I didn't even register her coming over. Tara clears her throat and leans forward.
Thanks. Seriously.
They're the first words that she's spoken in what feels like hours. She manages a small sip, but most of it dribbles down her shirt. I don't even reach for my glass, knowing that my hands are just as shaky, if not more. My entire worldview is shattered. It's going to take more than just a walk in the snow and a glass of tap water for everything to sink in.
How are you not freaking out? Have you seen that thing before?
I feel like I need to fix the sound a little bit.
No, that was my first time as well.
Wait a second. I'm sorry. Okay. She doesn't answer the other part of my question. Tara continues to slowly drink her glass of water while mine remains untouched. At some point, Morgan goes into the kitchen and prepares a pot of coffee. I can hear her rummage around in the fridge and smell the coffee as it brews, but neither register beyond a cursory awareness. What does get my attention is when she sets 2 steaming mugs down in front of us, hot coffee sloshing over onto her hands.
Drink this. It'll help.
I do as I'm told, lapping up at the brew. Since it's too hot to sip, Tara does the same. Morgan sits beside her on the couch, draining her own mug much faster than we do as she gazes out the window. By the time I'm about halfway through my own, I do feel a bit better, whether that's because of the warmth, the caffeine, or just the placebo effect. I'm not sure. Once we're finished, we just lapse back into preoccupied silence. Yet again, it's Morgan who breaks it.
I think the 2 of you should take some time to relax. I need to get home soon too, before I arouse too much suspicion. Does that work for you?
I look to Tara, who doesn't seem to have even heard what Morgan said.
Yeah, sounds fine.
The more that I think about it, the more appealing it sounds. Right now, I want nothing more than to curl up in my bed, cocoon myself in blankets, and sleep for a while.
Okay, I'll see you later then.
Never one for long goodbyes, Morgan heads straight for the door.
I'll message you soon.
She leaves before either of us can respond. We sit and sit. I don't know for how long. Longer than I've ever seen Tara sit still. I just don't know what else to do. As much as I'd like to, I know we can't just sit here forever. The knowledge that we'll soon have to return to mundane, everyday things feels unreal. We just witnessed something magical and life-changing. How could we just go back to normal life? But I know that, in truth, the world hasn't changed at all. Just our knowledge of it. No matter how long we wait, the outside world will continue to pass us by. It feels like an eternity passes, but Tara's voice breaks through the silence. I'm not sure if I fell asleep or not, but I react with a start, and my heart beats 100 miles per hour.
So, what do you think?
About which part? There's a lot to take in.
Yeah. About all of it. Or any of it.
While she sits, she idly pulls on a loose thread from a blanket close by. She pulls and unravels it further. I don't think she notices she's doing it.
I think the main thing is that I wonder what else is out there now. Not just in the forest, but in the whole world. Are there more of those things? Or is it the only one of its kind? And how did no one ever see it before? There's just so much that I don't know how or what to feel. What about you?
Again, she shrugs.
The same, pretty much.
There's no way you're not gonna get that BooTube award now, you know?
It's a surefire joke. It should be an easy smile, but she doesn't react at all.
Probably not. Think I'm gonna crash. Good night, Mads.
Just like Morgan, she gets up and leaves without even giving me time to reply. There's barely 5 seconds between her saying it and her bedroom door slamming shut behind her. It's not at all the kind of response I'd expect from Tara, but these are far from normal circumstances. All that I can do now is wait for her or for Morgan. Wait and wonder. After a late night spent researching, I awaken around 11 in the morning, a good 2 or 3 hours later than I usually get up. I get dressed in a hurry, not wanting to keep Tara waiting before we head into town. It would be a pretty ironic twist, though, since usually I'm the one who has to wait for her to get ready after late nights. I have a sheaf of notes that I took and a hand cramp to match. I'm not sure how useful all of it'll be, but it's at least a starting point. Tara's good at seeing the hidden connections and putting pieces together, too. It makes for entertaining videos, even without results. Out in the living room, a lukewarm pot of coffee and a used mug are the only indication that she's awake.
Hey, I'm up now. Slept in a little. I'll be ready to go in a sec.
I call out from the kitchen, preparing my own cup of coffee. She doesn't respond. I wonder if she can't hear me with the door closed. I go and knock on the door, being careful not to spill any coffee on myself. No response. I knock again, louder. Most likely she has her headphones in, that or she fell back asleep.
You ready? I'm good to go. I have a bunch of notes and research too. Maybe we could go over some of it with Morgan.
Silence. She's not that heavy of a sleeper. I knock again, even harder, but she still doesn't answer. I jiggle the doorknob a little bit. It turns easily. I open the door slowly, giving her ample time to yell and interrupt me. But she doesn't. Her room is empty. She left without me. I let go of my carefully arranged papers, suddenly not really caring that much about them as they flutter to the floor. My hand shakes hard enough for my coffee to spill out of the mug and staining the pages below. So that's how it is, whatever it is. I swallow the lump in my throat, forcing myself not to overreact. Maybe she tried to wake me up and I slept through it, or maybe she just went out for a walk and she'll be back soon, so that we can go into town. There are 100 different benign scenarios for what could have happened, but in my heart I know that she ditched me, plain and simple. I go to the sink and dump out the coffee, my appetite suddenly gone. Then I pick up the papers that I dropped. A few are ruined beyond legibility from the coffee, but it's not like anyone will miss them. I throw them in the trash, along with the sodden paper towels that I used to clean up the spill. I gather the rest of the papers into a pile and leave them on the kitchen counter. Throwing them away feels like a waste, but I don't really want to look at them right now. I retreat back to my room and slam the door. Even though there's no one around to hear it, I put on a film at random for background noise. More than anything, my thoughts start to wander before the opening credits are even finished. What exactly was it that I did that upset Tara so much? Before Morgan took us to the church, things were fine between us, if not a bit tense, but I was working on my attitude, and she didn't seem bothered. And since seeing the monster, both of us have said so little. So I'm just left wondering what I did wrong. I wish that she would talk to me and at least help me understand. I'm about 15 minutes into the film before I realize that I have the French audio track playing without subtitles, and that I haven't understood a word of it. I close my laptop and stare blankly at the wall, since that's the only thing I can do and not mess up right now. It isn't long before I can hear the crunching of 2 pairs of footsteps outside, as well as the low murmur of conversation. The front door bursts open, and from my room I can hear the din of Tara entering.
Gotta be related to the stuff in the journals. There's no way they're not talking about the same thing. Just send all those pics to my email address when you can. This is gonna be so freaking good.
Sure thing.
I sit paralyzed in my bed. Should I ignore them? Go out and act like nothing's out of the ordinary? Part of me wants to just hide in my room, but the way Tara and I have always gotten over our arguments is by being open about our issues. Plus, Tara would know that I'm at the cabin, so if she brought Morgan back here, I doubt she's trying to avoid me. Maybe they came back specifically to include me. Hoping for the best, I head out into the living room. Tara's brewing a pot of coffee while Morgan leans against the counter. A few books that she must have brought from home are stacked beside her. She glances up as I enter.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey there.
Tara nods without facing me.
What are the books?
I nod at the stack. Tara sets 2 cups of coffee in front of her and Morgan and slides the books towards herself.
They're the journals she mentioned on the walk to the church. She was letting me take a look at them.
She puts emphasis on the word me, like she's the only one who's allowed to. Maybe that's the case. This isn't off to a great start.
I see you picked up a coffee habit too, huh? Morgan's really rubbed off on you.
Yeah.
She turns to face Morgan, being sure to exclude me from what she says.
Okay, we can chill in my room. Might want to grab one of the spare chairs from out here.
Oh, okay.
It's a small consolation, but I can tell that even Morgan feels a little uncomfortable with the situation. She gives me a sympathetic look, but doesn't say anything. Just why is Tara acting like this? If she would just tell me, maybe we could work it out. I stick out an arm, halting Morgan as she carries the chair across the cabin.
Tara, can I talk to you for a sec?
The two of them exchange a look, but I can't tell what it's supposed to mean. Then she shrugs. I gesture towards my room, and she follows me in. I shut the door.
Can you please, tell me why you're mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
I scoff.
Whatever you want to call it, why are you treating me like this?
Like what?
I can already feel myself starting to get angry, but I try to keep it under control.
Please don't play dumb like that. You barely talked to me for 3 days. You ditched me this morning, and now you're going out of your way to exclude me. I don't know how to interpret that as anything other than mad. I have no idea what I said or did to piss you off, so I don't even know what to apologize for.
Tara runs a hand through her hair and looks around the room. It's the first time she's been in here since we arrived in Eisenfeld. It's more or less a carbon copy of hers, so I don't know what's so interesting about it.
I'm not mad, I'm just not wasting your time with this stuff anymore. I can take it from here.
I'm not quite sure I heard her right.
Sorry, what?
I said I can take it from here.
Take what exactly?
The vid. I mean, you're quitting anyway, so I've got to learn how to do all this on my own, right?
But that's not...
I don't even know what to say to that.
Why not ask me at least? Or even tell me? That's so screwed up.
How do you figure? Every day since we've got here, you've talked about or at least shown how you don't want to be here. You even said it yourself. You had to make an effort to be less bitchy whenever we go out. So, now that there's a solid lead, I can figure out the rest of it myself. Or at least with Morgan's help. If you want, I can buy you an early train ticket home or something. Next one should be coming through in a day or two. You don't have to keep pretending to care.
The whole time, her tone never changes. It's flat and emotionless. I wonder if that's another result of Morgan's influence. I wait, expecting there to be more, hoping that there's more. There isn't. I stand there dumbfounded. Tara shrugs again and then leaves, closing my bedroom door behind her.
Okay, sorry about that. Let's get those journals.
I can still hear her talking to Morgan through the wall, bright and chipper. My legs feel weak all of a sudden, and I collapse onto my bed. Through everything, my own misgivings and concerns about my future, choosing to quit the show and telling Tara about it, and even witnessing the monster at the church, I've managed to keep my composure. But for the first time in I don't know how long, I can't stop it any longer. I cry. All of this feels so unfair. Of course I didn't want to be here. It's been a waste of time. Every single other time. I get it. I was the skeptic, the non-believer, only humoring her in all her exploits and playing as her foil. I rained on her parade constantly. And now, after everything that's happened, she was right. I can't deny that. But why does that mean I don't deserve to be involved with it now? Maybe she took my leaving personally, even though I swore that wasn't the case. I was only doing what was right for me. I needed to move on and do something with my life. So is it really my fault that meant I had to stop playing around with paranormal stuff? After these past couple days, I was even starting to reconsider that. Maybe staying on the show wouldn't be so bad. Once the episode goes live, everything will be changing. But now I don't feel like that's an option, like she'd even want me anymore. I feel like everything in my life has changed in just a few short days, like I'm lost at sea without anything to hold on to. My best friend in the whole world is at the epicenter of it all, and I'm thousands of miles from home. Through the walls, I can faintly hear the sound of Morgan and Tara discussing whatever it is. Not nearly loud enough for me to make out any words, but enough to be reminded of my exclusion. I wonder if Tara knows how upset I am, or if she expects me to be grateful. Neither would surprise me. I cry until my eyes are dry and sore, but I don't feel any better. The walls of my bedroom feel claustrophobic, and the vague sound of Tara talking is insufferable. I hurriedly bundle up and slip out of my bedroom and out the cabin to get some fresh air. The cold is just barely more manageable today, but it's still preferable to the atmosphere inside. It stings my wet cheeks, burning reminders of my unhappiness. I pick a direction at random and start heading into the forest. As long as I don't get any twists or turns and just go in a straight line, I won't be able to get lost. After what I've seen, the woods feel especially hostile now. I wonder what else could be lurking in the shadows, or farther amongst the trees. Countless possibilities that I'd never considered are suddenly plausible. But for once, I don't hesitate. I just walk, my feet automatically stepping over roots and other forest debris. Underfoot, the snow is sloshy and messy. My head feels the same. My heart hurts. Everything hurts. My nose burns from crying. The cold only exacerbating the effects. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? I just feel lost. I reflect on the show and on the years I've spent with Tara and wonder how it all came to this. The show had been her idea, of course, but I was the one who encouraged her to go through with it. She'd always had a flair for the dramatic, whether it was the school play, her old blog, or even the over-the-top fanfic she used to write. And I'd always been there to support her, whatever it was. I'd go over and over her lines with her and help her rehearse or even edit her fics. When she first had the idea for Terranormal and combining her two biggest interests, cryptids and herself, I was the only person who said she could go for it. I even came up with the name, but I'm still pretty proud of it. At first I thought it would just be another entry in a long list of harebrained ideas that Tara would start and quickly lose interest in. I gave it 2, maybe 3 episodes tops before she got bored, but the reception was good, and the views started coming in, so did the ad revenue and the sponsorships. That had started as a weekend hobby, turned into a weekend responsibility, and then into a day job. My role went from handling a cheap camera and stitching together the footage to actually learning proper video editing and investing in decent equipment. It seemed only natural that I'd be the one to handle all the invites, fan mail, inquiries, and more, the professional side of things. I put my life on hold for the show, quit college halfway through my film studies degree, and moved out of my cheap student housing. I gave up my barista job and the store manager promotion I'd been hoping for. I dropped everything in order to help Tara make the best show possible. Sure, it wasn't like I had it rough. Tara's always split the royalties with me and pays for the expenses herself. The two of us have done pretty well for ourselves, better than we had any right to expect, but at the end of the day, it was always about Tara. Her name in the title, her name on the contracts, her name in the fan mail. Terra, Terra, Terra. And when it's all over, when the final episode someday goes up and she moves on, she'll be able to take that name with her anywhere. That success, that popularity. And all I'll have is the memory. The more I dwell on it, the more unfair Terra's behavior seems. I can feel anger overcoming my sadness. How could she say I'm only pretending to care? I gave up years of my life for her and dedicated them to making her look good. Without me, she'd never been able to balance running the business side of the show while actually making it. Hell, she's not even close to being tech savvy enough to do what I do. Part of me wants to spin around right now and go back to the cabin and demand an apology. But I know how that would go. She'd just get defensive, and even if she did say she's sorry, she wouldn't mean it. It wouldn't actually fix anything. We'd just be back where we were when we started, when we first got to Eisenfeld. Awkward and tense. There isn't really a good solution that I can think of, but I have to do or say something, or I can't just leave it there. Her offer for an early trip home lingers in my mind. I'm sure she'd make good on that promise. It sounds pretty tempting, too. In less than 3 days, I could be comfortable, warm, and back in my own bed. I'd never have to think about Morgan, or Eisenfeld, or forest spirits, or weird churches, or floating lights again. I could just move on with my life, the same way I'd been planning to once I got home anyway. As I think that through, though I know it's not really an option, I'd never be able to live with myself if I let it all go unresolved. 2 piercing red eyes shine in my memory, and I know that there's no way I'd be able to forget about them. Remembering the monster makes me stop and take stock of my surroundings. I've been walking at a pretty good rate, unhindered by the weather and fueled by my bad mood. There is a small clearing just up ahead, and it looks like it might be a good spot to take a short break. It's not very big. I realize when I reach it, I could toss a stone from one side to the other. It doesn't feel as stifling as the rest of the forest, though. I clear my throat. It's the only noise I can hear. The sounds of the village don't travel this far. They barely reach the cabin for the most part. Overhead, the sky is a crystal clear blue for the first time that I can remember. It's still freezing, but it isn't cloudy. Not even an airplane or vapor trail disturb the tranquility. I rub my eyes and defog my glasses. I must look like a real mess out here. I do feel a little better, though. The fresh air alone has helped clear my head. The snow underfoot is well trampled from my stomping around. The mud mixes with the slush to form a thin paste that sticks to my boots. If there was somewhere to sit down, this place would be perfect. I make do with leaning against a tree that's mostly dry. I'll need to remember how I got here. It would be nice to have a place of my own to retreat to when I need it, away from the other two. Just as I'm enjoying the tranquility, there's a rustling sound overhead, and I look up just in time to get a face full of snow as it slides off a branch. Perfect timing. I cough and splutter, wiping away as much of it as I can, though a lot of it still falls onto my clothes. I flap my jacket like wings, trying to knock it off. Right then, from the corner of my eye, a quick motion catches my attention. It's gone too fast for me to notice. More than a glimpse of fabric, I turn around to see who it was. But there's nothing there, and no sign of anything having been there. Heart pounding, I walk over in the direction it came from, looking for footprints or something. There is nothing. I rub my eyes. Maybe it was the snow messing with my vision. The harsh, unmistakable sound of branch breaking cracks behind me. I spin around expecting to see Tara there with a dumb smile on her face for having spooked me. But again, there's nothing. I pull my coat tighter around myself and press my back against a tree.
Hello? Is someone there?
My voice resounds through the clearing, but goes unanswered. Again, a flash of movement from the corner of my eye. This time I'm sure I see it. A glimpse of purple darting behind a tree. I start towards it, hand reaching, but without a clear plan in mind, just like a dog chasing cars. I don't know what I'll actually do if I catch it. I walk into the middle of the clearing, turning a snow circle, hoping to spot whatever it was.
Can you hear me? Hello?
It already knows I'm here. There's no point trying to hide. Snow crunches off to my left. I pivot just in time to see a girl disappear behind another tree.
Hey, wait!
I may as well not be saying anything for all the effect it seems to have. I hurry to the tree where I saw her, but she's gone. I'm just running in circles, chasing after who knows what. My heart beats like a kick drum. A million possibilities race through my head, each more fantastic than the last. Maybe she's from the village. Maybe I imagined her. Maybe she's another forest spirit. Maybe she's the same forest spirit who saw before in a different form. Any of them could be true. I've seen now that nothing is impossible. I look all around, searching for a clue, and finding none. This is a bad idea, I know. Every single fairy tale I've ever read warns that this is a bad idea. Chasing after mysterious girls in the woods never ends well. She could be luring me to her secret lair, or could even be a disguise for some kind of terrible monster. Maybe it's the forest spirit come to exact revenge for trespassing in its territory. I should turn and run and race back to the cabin. If I told Tara and Morgan, I'm sure this is the kind of thing that would override Tara's annoyance, at least for now. It could be our chance to patch things up, pursuing some new mystery. Or I could not tell Tara, and I could solve the mystery myself. Whatever it is. For the first time, something happened to me that doesn't involve Tara. I could keep it that way. My hand is trembling, but I reach out in the direction I last saw the girl, more as a sign of openness than anything else.
Are you still there?
Silence.
If you can hear me, can you let me know?
No response. My fingers close over empty air. This is stupid. I feel like an idiot talking to no one. If she wanted to be caught, she would have let me, I'm sure. But then if she didn't, then what was the point of even showing herself?
I'll come back tomorrow, okay? If you'll be here again.
It feels desperate. It is desperate. But I can't let this chance go, not when this could be all I have. A light breeze blows through as if to answer. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I stand there hoping for another sign. As I give up and turn back towards the path home, I see it, for just a split second. A bright pink light, crystal clear, and the color of the sunset flashes just once. It's the same as the one we chased through the forest several days ago. My breath catches in my throat, my muscles tighten, poised to follow, but my common sense overrides. As much as I want to, I can't just go running off into the forest on my own. I'd probably never find my way back. I swallow. If it can understand me like it seems to, then I'll see it tomorrow, once I've had more time to prepare. I face the direction the light came from, even though it's gone now.
I'll be back tomorrow. I promise.
Morgan and Tara never noticed me come home. They might not have even noticed that I left. I don't make any efforts to talk to them. I'm still too angry with Tara. Instead, I spend the rest of the day in my room, watching films or reading. All of the research that I was so eagerly working on is put aside, stuffed into a folder that's out of sight on my hard drive. I have my own project now, my own lead to explore. The thought of that light and the mysterious girl in the woods stays on my mind through it all. Even late into the night, I can hear that Morgan's still over, in Tara's room with her. At some point, the sounds go from conversation to something else. I turn up the volume on my computer. They can do whatever they want. It's well past midnight when my eyes finally get heavy enough to sleep. The next day, I head straight to the clearing without telling anyone. Nearly 24 hours to the minute since I left it. From the thick clouds overhead, I can tell it's going to be a short trip. Still, I have to go, at least to see. My heart thumps with anticipation and more than a little nervousness. It's an odd mix. I have forced myself to keep a calm demeanor and not get too worked up. It's difficult. I'm hopeful, but I don't know what for. I don't have a camera or even a cell phone. There's no way I could prove anything that happens. It's not like there's anyone who could vouch for me, say that I saw what I saw. For now, it's important that I keep it that way. This encounter, whatever it may be, will be mine and mine alone. Arriving at the clearing, I brace myself for what it might find. Nothing's changed. I'm met with silence. There's the faint sound of trees rustling in the wind and nothing more.
Hello? Are you out there?
I give it a moment, waiting and hoping for a response that never comes. Maybe it really was my eyes playing tricks on me. The light could have been a reflection of the sun, and the girl could have been... There isn't a doubt left in my mind that the girl was there. There's no way I didn't see someone. Frustrated, I kick at some of the mush on the ground. It splashes up and splatters my legs.
Are you there? I'm waiting. Please.
I feel like a fool. I'm pleading with someone that may or may not exist to manifest. If someone had told me a week ago that I'd be here doing this today, I'd have laughed at them. Everything about this situation is unlike me. My irritation builds up with myself, with Tara, with the stupid ghost light, with everything. Whatever was there is gone now. And really, what kind of idiot convinces herself to come back for an imaginary date with a weird breeze? I clench my fist, looking without seeing. Slowly, I turn circles, hoping for something, anything. I traipse back and forth at an increasingly desperate pace, not really sure what kind of clue I'm searching for, but just knowing that I can't sit still. If I sit still, then I'm giving up. And if I give up, then I really don't have anything left for me out here. For the second day in a row, I feel the sting of tears in my eyes, and I pinch my eyes shut to stop them. Not here, not today. I hold my hand there and suck in a deep breath. The cold air stings my throat. I study my breathing, fighting back the urge to cry. After a moment, once the urge is past, I lower my hand and open my eyes. And she's there. So silently and so suddenly that it's like she was never not there. The mysterious girl stands before me, barefoot in the snow, but seemingly unfazed. She regards me with a curious look, her eyes wide, like I'm the one who's out of place. Now that she's here, right in front of me, I realize that I don't know what to say.
Hello?
Is all I could muster. My voice comes out weaker than I expected. Her eyes go wide at my word. Her lips move, but no sound comes out. She mouths something else again, still without a voice.
I can't hear you.
A frown. She turns away. Have I disappointed her? Is she going to disappear again?
Please don't go!
I don't know why I want her to stay. Something is clearly different. Unnatural. This isn't a normal girl. But that's exciting in and of itself. The girl turns back around to face me again. She looks just as confused as I feel. There's a nervous sort of energy to her. Beneath the gown, she's wearing far too thin for the weather. The girl's legs are tense and ready to bolt. I take a step towards her, holding out the hand the same way I'd approach a kitten or a lost puppy.
My name's Madison. Can you understand me?
She still looks a bit nervous, but nods. So we speak the same language. That's good. Is she from Eisenfeld? I can't imagine she's from anywhere else. There's nothing else around.
You were talking, right? Just a bit ago, but I couldn't hear you.
Another nod. That means that for whatever reason her words can't reach me. Maybe she's naturally mute, or maybe her voice was magically stolen. Every idea that comes to mind is more ridiculous than the last, but I consider them all equally. To my surprise, I'm able to remain calm and, by my standards, pretty level-headed. It seems like the girl is more afraid of me than vice versa. I drop my hand down, offering a handshake. She stares at it for a moment, maybe expecting it to turn into a snake or for me to shoot magic bolts from my fingers. When neither of those things happen, she gingerly, slowly reaches for my hand. It passes right through me. Her fingers glide through the palm of my hand like a breeze disappearing into the air. With a sad smile, she looks down, seemingly expecting this result. Horrific realization slowly dawns on me, with the same tinge of certainty that guided me out here. This girl isn't really here in the same way that I am.
You're a ghost.
A slow, sad nod. She looks apologetic about it, for inconveniencing me with her lack of corporeal form.
I'm sorry.
The words feel weak and inadequate, and nearly like a non sequitur. But really, what do you say to a ghost? She shakes her head vigorously, hair flying about, trying to rid herself of some bad thought. She gives me a big smile and stretches her arms out wide, turning about to gesture to the trees around us.
What is it? I don't understand.
The girl bites her lip, wondering how to better convey her message. Then, with a decisive nod, she points at me and points at the ground between us. Pausing a moment, she holds that pose. Then she points at the trees, in the path I'd come from, and shakes her head. A flash of fear knifes its way under my skin. Is she threatening me? She definitely doesn't look like it.
Something about where I came from?
She nods and then repeats the pointing, first at me, then at the ground.
Me? Right here?
Another nod.
You're asking if I'll stay here?
She nods and claps, hopping up. Except she doesn't come down, she hovers there as if suspended by invisible strings, then slowly lowers herself back to the ground. I'm not sure if it's what she was going for, but I smile.
Are you showing off?
She laughs and nods, glad to be understood.
I can stay for a bit, sure. If you want me to, I mean.
The girl practically zooms the short distance between us, moving with what might be supernatural speed. She stands so close that her gown phases through me, uncomfortable in its lack of sensation. And she nods again, this time solemn and hopeful. I can't fight the feeling that she could possibly be setting some kind of trap or leading me astray, but I still don't get that impression from her, so I agree.
Okay, I'd be happy to, but I can't stay for too long, or Tara will start to wonder where I am.
Tara again. For the first time since we arrived, I was able to fully push her from my thoughts. I was so overwhelmed by meeting this girl that Tara didn't even register on my consciousness. But now, there she is again. She's more haunting than the ghost. The ghost in question mouths Tara's name, one of the few words I can actually lip read.
The person I came here with, she's, back in the village.
The girl's eyes go wide and she points in the direction of the forest, then makes a dragging motion back to where we are. This one's easy to understand.
No, she's not coming here. She has no idea.
For the first time, I'm glad the girl can't speak, because it means she can't ask me to elaborate. I don't want to think about Tara right now.
Anyway, were you here yesterday too? Watching me?
A nod, wholly unapologetic.
I thought so. I also thought I might be crazy, though. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised by either one.
She looks surprised. I wonder if she knows about the other supernatural occurrences in the forest. Maybe they're connected somehow.
The other day, my friend and I were out in the forest.
Nod.
And suddenly, there was this huge snowstorm, out of nowhere. And we saw this giant thing.
I stretch my hands to indicate just how enormous it was, but the enormity and terror of it are impossible to convey.
I don't even know how to describe it. It was a monster of some kind. Like a huge tree had come alive and was walking in the snow. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not only does the girl nod, but she laughs, finding something funny about my story. I'm not sure if I should be worried or not.
So you've seen it. Is it, like, evil?
A firm shake of her head.
That's good. It was honestly the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
After that, we taper off into silence. Well, I do. I don't have a reason to believe her, but so far she doesn't seem threatening at all. I have a hard enough time holding up my end of a conversation under normal circumstances. This just makes it even harder. The two of us just stand there looking at each other. Now that she's not moving around so much, I'm able to get a better look at her. She seems to be around my age, if not a bit younger. Her hair is long and slightly unruly, reaching well down her back. She reminds me a bit of Rapunzel. All alone in the forest, a cute bow midway down helps keep her hair in place. Her wide eyes are curious, but slightly sad. Still, she smiles so easily that I wonder if I'm just imagining the sorrow. As green as emeralds, her eyes kind of remind me of Morgan's. I was so taken aback by her sudden appearance and, well, ghostliness that at first I didn't realize she's beautiful. Her choice of attire makes a lot more sense now that I know she can't feel the cold. That gown she's wearing has a few dangling threads and scuffed spots, which I assume haven't changed since she died. I shudder, trying not to think of my own mortality. What was it like? Why is she here? Instead of whatever usually happens when you die, does she know what she's missing? An afterlife or lack thereof? I have a million questions about her life and about life itself. There's so much I want to ask, but it's impossible. Plus, we've only known each other for a few minutes. It feels like that would be rude to ask right away. A thick snowflake lands on my cheek, startling me. I'd pretty much forgotten about the weather. Overhead, the clouds are getting worse, and the snow is starting to fall more heavily. As much as I want to spend more time with her, I really don't want to be caught out in a blizzard a second time.
I need to go back now, but will you be here again? I'd like to see you again. If you'd like that too.
She nods emphatically, with a grin to match. I can't help but smile in return. It's nice to know that someone is looking forward to seeing me.
Okay, I'll come back as soon as I can. I promise. Although, I'm not sure when the weather will let me do that. On the next sunny day, I'll be there, okay?
She nods.
Okay, I'll see you soon then. I hope...
Aw, dang it. I skipped too early. The girl waves goodbye as I turn to leave, remaining in the center of the clearing. As I get my last look at her, I know that I'm not imagining the sadness in her eyes now. I glance behind several times on the walk back, each time expecting her to have disappeared once more. But she stays there waving until the trees obscure her from sight. A splash of purple fabric against the brown and white of the forest. A little spark of light to look forward to. With almost every step I take, I cast a glance behind me. I keep expecting to hear the crunch of snow or spot a flash of red hair as Tara follows me, but there's nothing. I'm alone. I hurry through the woods practically on autopilot. Less than a week ago, I'd have never set foot in the forest on my own, but now I already have the path to the clearing memorized. It gives me extra time to worry. What am I even doing? Everything about this situation is extremely not me. Heading off on my own into a dark forest without telling anyone? To go meet up with a ghost? Even thinking the word ghost still makes my heart lurch. I've seen her with my own eyes, and yet I still have trouble believing it. And I'm just trusting that she's not going to lead me back to her lair and suck my soul out or something like that. I feel like Gretel, and I'm not even cautious enough to leave a breadcrumb trail. But still, I keep walking. There's something exciting in being on my own, in doing something without Tara. I can't remember the last time I had a secret from her, at least not a big one. Not telling her about the ghost girl feels a little bit like rebellion. I feel like I deserve something exciting that's all my own. She and Morgan can go to whatever. I doubt Tara will even notice that I'm not around. And even if she does, it's something that she needs to get used to. I've tried to show her how to cut a video or frame a shot lots of times. It's her own fault if she still doesn't get it. Just like it's her own fault that she's missing out now. As I approach the clearing, I slow down a little. My usual trepidation overtakes me once again as I contemplate just how reckless this is. There is absolutely no guarantee that the girl isn't dangerous, that I'll walk out of these woods alive. Normally I'd chastise Tara for following her gut instinct, which dictates probably 70% of her decisions. Yet, that's all that I have to go off right now. The feeling that I'm safe with the ghost girl, that she won't harm me. I cross the threshold of trees and into the clearing, just like the other times. It's serenely quiet. Even my past footsteps are gone, erased by the wind or snowfall.
I'm here.
Somehow, I feel like she already knows. The forest swallows my words, returning to frozen, pristine silence. Soundlessly, she steps out from behind a tree. A small smile sits on her face, though her eyes are slightly downcast. She waves, meeting my eyes for just a moment before glancing away.
Hi there.
My words hang in the still air.
Were you waiting for me?
We lock eyes again, and she nods, quickly, earnestly.
I hope it wasn't for too long.
She shakes her head, and then she laughs. I'm not sure what the joke is, though.
What? What's so funny?
Once she catches her breath, she bites her lip as she ponders. After a moment, she shrugs, looking apologetic. I guess explaining a joke through gestures would be difficult. She slides up next to me. I fight the urge to step back. Though I've decided to trust her, my instincts still belie my nerves. But what she seems to be most interested in is the bag slung over my shoulder. She simulates opening the bag so that she can see into it.
Nosy, huh?
Immediately, she backsteps, waving her hands in a frantic, apologetic motion.
Sorry, I was just kidding. You can look.
She regards me like a timid deer as I hold the bag open for her to see. Inside are a couple books that I had picked up from the village this morning. I hold up the first one, small and square and baby blue.
I got a really strange look from the person who runs the bookstore because of this one. It's a book of baby names.
Her eyes go wide and she grasps at her belly, then points at me. It takes me a second to understand what she means, and for some reason I feel my face flush.
No, I am not pregnant, but I thought maybe you could use it to show me your name? If it's a name that would be...
Before I can finish my sentence, she's zoomed back over to me, all sense of personal space once again discarded. She clasps her hands, a fiery look in her eyes, and hops up and down. Frankly, it's adorable.
Guess you're a fan. Okay, cool.
She eyes the book hungrily. She must be really excited to share her name with me. It's a little exciting for me, too. It's nice to see someone so happy about being with me. I fight to keep an overzealous grin off my face.
Okay, let's see.
I look around. Aside from the trees and snow, there isn't much. I wonder if there's something about this place in particular that the girl likes.
Is there somewhere nearby where we could sit down? It feels a little weird to just keep standing.
Finger on her chin, she ponders, then she turns and points towards the woods, even further in. I can tell from the look in her eyes that she's uncertain. I swallow a lump in my throat. I've come this far, after all.
Sure, that's fine. Lead the way.
She does so, but never gets too far from my side. Every few steps she glances over at me as if I'm making sure I'm still there. That feels a little backwards to me, but in a nice way. I don't really feel compelled to break the silence either. Of course, part of this is just because any conversation would be one-sided. But also, she looks content, like she's just happy to be there. I am too. The silence doesn't feel vast and overwhelming like it has with Tara. It feels warm. Before too long, I realized that our destination this is nearly the same path that Morgan took us down just a couple dusks ago. I recognized some of the more grotesquely warped trees.
We're going to that church.
Eyes wide, she nods, probably surprised that I know of it.
One of the villagers showed it to us a few days ago. Me and my friend.
It feels weird just to call Tara my friend. Usually if I'm talking to someone about Tara, they've met her. The girl just nods yet again. As we reach the edge of the trees and the church itself comes into sight, I look around for traces of the monster we saw days before. There are none to be seen, though. No snapped or toppled trees. No footsteps as deep as I am tall. Much like the girl beside me, there's no trace of its existence. I look over to the door of the church, where she's patiently waiting for me. Once again, I fight back all my fears and hesitations and head for the door, too. It's too late to turn back now. The door is still slightly ajar from our visit a few days ago. A thin trail of snow powders the entryway, but otherwise the church is dry. It's still unnaturally warm. I wonder if that has to do with the girl, too. From the way she walks, I can tell she's familiar with the place. She heads to the front, stopping just shy of the altar, where she turns around to face me. Being back here is a little unnerving, and I slowly approach her, though she hasn't given me any reason to be suspicious. The image of those monstrous eyes is ingrained in my memory. But this time there's no howling wind or earth-shaking footsteps, just the one girl waiting patiently. I give her a soft smile as I sit down on one of the few pews near the front. It's hewn from stone, smooth and rigid. She takes a seat right beside me. Normally being this close to strangers makes me uncomfortable, but with her, I don't really mind. Part of it is, of course, the fact that I can't feel her at all, but the other part is that it feels kind of pleasant to sit together like this. I hastily push that thought out of my head. She's a ghost. She's literally transparent and insubstantial. I rummage through the bag and grab the book of baby names.
Okay, so, first?
She bounces up and down with anticipation as I tear off the plastic cling wrap and stuff it in the tote bag.
Is the first letter early in the alphabet?
She nods and holds up one finger.
I. L?
2 shakes of her head. She touches her index fingers together and uses her middle finger to cross between them.
Oh, an A.
Enthusiastic nodding. I flip to the first couple of pages in the book right in the middle of the A's. The first name I spot is Amber. Impatiently, she leans over and motions to go further back, towards the start. I turn the pages slowly, giving her time to scan. On the very first page, she holds out her hand to stop and points. She's practically hanging over my shoulder to show me.
Abigail. Your name is Abigail.
She gives me the biggest, most radiant grin I've ever seen as she nods. Her joy is infectious, and I can't help but smile too.
Abigail.
I repeat it, and she looks even more joyful. A beam of light breaks through the glass window, illuminating dust motes that make it look as though she's sparkling. We lock eyes, and I feel my breath catch in my throat. The look in her eyes, pure unadulterated happiness, is something I've never seen before. They shine with tears, the good kind. The kind that bring out the color of her eyes, the radiant kind. I don't know I could make someone happy like this. I quickly look away, back to the now irrelevant book in my lap.
Anyway, Abigail, I had a couple questions. Is that okay?
Abigail nods.
So, maybe this is kind of rude to ask, but are you a ghost? Or are you something else?
Abigail closes her eyes and, with a sad smile, nods.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure what the appropriate response to something like that is.
Then, are you from Eisenfeld?
Nod.
Do you know a girl from there called Morgan?
She shakes her head. That makes sense. I'm sure Morgan would have mentioned her before, if so.
So have you, like, been a ghost for a long time then?
I cringe a little as I ask. It seems gauche, although I'm not entirely sure what proper etiquette is for this kind of conversation. In answer to my question, she nods again.
Do you know how long?
A shrug. She holds up 2 fingers, then 2 fists.
200?
Another shrug and a nod.
200 years.
I murmur it to myself in slight disbelief. It could be more. I doubt she's been keeping track of every day. The world out there, the world I come from, it may as well be another planet for her.
I'm sorry.
It's incomprehensible to me. I can't fathom that much time passing, unable to talk to anyone. How lonely that must be. She's closed her eyes yet again, though I've been interpreting her silence as serene. I wonder if that's how she feels. These yes or no questions are practically the extent of what I can ask her. There's still such a gulf between who she is and what I know of her. Centuries worth of solitude.
In all that time, have you ever spent time like this with someone else?
Without opening her eyes or looking at me, she shakes her head again.
I'm the only one?
Nod. I fall silent too. My head is still reeling. There are so many things that I want to ask and want to know. How did she die? Why did her spirit stick around? Does she know about the thing we saw in the snow? Why am I the first person she's shown herself to? But there's no way she can answer, and even if she could, I wonder if she'd want to. Is it impolite to remind a ghost that they're dead? It's morbidly funny to me that these are questions I have to ask myself. Tara would love this. Tara would... I pushed that thought out of my head, too. Tara's not here right now. It's just me and Abigail.
Would you like me to read that other book?
Her grin returns, the moment of melancholy dispelled. Seems I made the right call in changing the subject. I show her the cover before cracking it open, enjoying that new book smell.
This is a book I read a lot when I was younger. It's about a girl who wants to be a hero, so she goes on a quest with her best friend to prove herself. It's a little childish, I guess, but maybe you'd like it?
Abigail claps her hands and nods. I have a feeling that I could read the dictionary to her and she'd be satisfied, but I don't mention that.
Okay.
I smooth the crease and open the first page.
Once upon a time...
It's a story that I could probably recite by heart. My mom used to read it to me when I was a little girl, and it was one of the books that I used to learn to read. I was both surprised and excited to see that there was a copy in Eisenfeld's bookstore. I settle into an easy cadence of reading, though I'm not used to reading out loud. It starts to feel pretty natural after a couple pages. Like my mom used to do, I give all the characters different voices. I don't have quite the range that Mom does, but Abigail seems to enjoy it all the same. She smiles and laughs in all the right places. It makes my heart warm to see how much she's enjoying it. Her eyes are closed yet again, but she looks quite content. As we finish chapter 2, Abigail scoots a little closer and rests her head near my shoulder. I pause mid-sentence, surprised, but resume just a second later. Though I can't feel her there, the sentiment is clear. I keep reading. Sometimes when I glance down, I can see that her eyes are open, reading along. Her lips mouth the same words I am. One time she catches me looking and blushes, but I just smile and continue going. After we finish chapter 4, I finally pause. My mouth is dry, my jaw is starting to hurt a little bit. I must have been reading aloud for close to an hour. Even though I stop, Abigail doesn't sit up or open her eyes. Her hand rests on my arm, and I set the book aside. Do ghosts need to sleep? That's another question I can ask, but maybe at a different time. Right now, I'm happy to let her pretend. Quietly, I hum a song. It's something from the radio, a title I can't remember, but it's always stuck in my head. I'm extremely off-key, I'm sure, but I don't care. It just feels right. When I stop, she finally opens her eyes and sits back up. As we gaze at each other, she mouths two words that I don't have to be good at reading lips to decipher. Thank you.
No problem. I hope you like the story.
First she claps, then she places one hand over her heart. I laugh, flattered, but also a little embarrassed.
I think that's all I can do today, but we should read more sometime. If you want to, I mean.
I already know the answer, but she gives me an emphatic nod all the same.
Okay. It's a promise.
She touches her heart again, and I smile.
I should probably head back to the cabin soon. People will start to get suspicious if I'm gone for too long.
Abigail cocks her head like an owl, curious.
I, haven't told my friends about you yet. It's sort of like our secret, I guess. And I want to keep it that way for a little longer.
She smiles in agreement. Oh my gosh, guys, this is getting so cute. Once it starts getting dark, we say our goodbyes and part ways at the church. Same as when we first met, she watches me go until she vanishes from sight. As I head back towards the cabin, my head is swimming, or maybe drowning. Oh, no, wait. What the heck was that? Okay. I think it was just... It's hard to think of anything but Abigail, all alone in the middle of the forest for centuries. What's her story? I want to know, but I doubt I ever will. Yet I'm already looking forward to seeing her again, even though in the back of my mind I'm aware that Tara and I will only be here a few more weeks. It seems almost cruel knowing that this is all so short-lived. If I were her, would I rather have a few weeks of happiness just to lose it again, or never have anything at all? The question makes my head and heart hurt. The walk back feels like it goes by much quicker than my journey to the clearing and then the church. As I get closer to the cabin, I can see that the windows are dark. Tara must be in town or out with Morgan somewhere. I wonder if she noticed I was gone. My musing is interrupted by a sudden sound of footsteps in the snow. The mayor steps from behind a tree, just like Abigail did earlier.
Good evening, Madison.
Evening, Miss Mayor.
Where have you been?
I freeze. Her tone is sharp, with no pretense of being conversational. Her glare is even sharper. Does she know about Abigail? Or about the forest spirit? Surely she would have mentioned if so. My mind reels while I stall for time.
I was out for a walk in the forest.
I'm bad at lying, so I try to just tell her half-truths.
I can see that. Where did you go?
Around. I was just walking around. Needed the fresh air.
Alone? Where is your friend? Or my daughter?
With each question she asks, she takes a nearly imperceptible step closer. I shrug, trying to look indifferent. I don't think it's working.
I'm not sure. Tara and I had an argument earlier. I wanted to be alone.
An argument? Regarding what?
She's far too close for comfort now. Close enough that she could reach out and grab me by the throat if she wanted to. Still, I'm so taken aback by the nerve of her asking about my personal issues that my voice comes out stronger than I could have hoped for.
I'm sorry, but I'm not comfortable talking about it.
The mayor regards me for a long moment. Her nostrils flare. I meet her gaze and don't look away, even though I desperately want to. I half expect her tongue to shoot out and taste the air like a snake. It feels as if she can see right through me. I'm almost certain that she knows I'm hiding something from her, more than just my argument with Tara.
I see.
She flips her hair and walks past me, heading into the forest.
Be careful, Madison. The woods are dangerous on your own.
I stand there, heart in my throat, until the sound of snow under her feet fades into silence. Shuddering, I hurry the rest of the way back to the cabin. Oh shit! We're getting Tara POV? Okay. I think this calls for ending it here tonight. It's like midnight and I have work tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to get some sleep and then we'll get back to this tomorrow, maybe not, but either way, pretty cool. This has been pretty cool, pretty cute. I'm really excited to see. We're finally kind of starting to get the Yuri happening in this Yuri visual novel, so we'll see where it goes. All right, bye.